In this video, I'm going to show you how I audit a Meta Ads account when it is running instant forms. If you're curious about auditing an account that's running landing pages, I have another video that does exactly that, but this one is specifically about instant forms. My name is Gavin Wiener. I'm a top-rated freelancer, and I help businesses specifically with their paid ad campaigns, their sales funnels, and their automations. I have an ad account open right now, and you can see this one is focused on instant forms. You can see that by the results column there. And the way I look at instant forms, it is a funnel. Everything is a funnel when it comes to paid ads. Even though everything is happening still on Meta, they're not having to leave the platform, we still treat this like a funnel. And I'm going to talk you through how I analyze that, and also that dictates why I have the columns that I have. If you want to get these columns as I talk through them, all you got to do is just click columns, you go custom, you add the columns from customized columns, and then you save it as a preset. That's what I do. When it comes to ads, I think about it as a funnel. The first step of the funnel is someone sees the ad. Then the only goal of the ad is to get someone to click through or take the next step, which in this case is to click through to the instant form. And then the next step is completing the instant form. The first step, as I said, is the impressions. Are people seeing the ad, and then are they clicking? So we obviously have our impressions and our reach. Our reach is how many unique people saw the ad. So that's why our frequency is at about 2. But again, now the first step is the ad doing the thing that we wanted to do, which is to get them to click through to the instant form. In this case, we use link clicks because they're not clicking off the platform. In that case, we would be using outbound clicks, which you will see in the video that I ordered a landing page funnel. But in this case, it's just link clicks, and therefore we're looking at CTR, link click through rate. In this case, the link click through rate is pretty low, and I'm going to talk you through how I would analyze that in this case. And then the next step we have is results. Very simple, is how many people are completing the form. So you can obviously do a rough calculation in your mind of, okay, we have 221 link clicks and we have 59 results. So our conversion rate is about 20-ish% or so, maybe 25%. Not bad when you think about it. As I mentioned before, and I will have another video about this, is the quality with instant forms, if you're not using any of the conditional logic, which is essentially qualifying questions, the quality is going to be a little bit lower. So you do want to be aware of that even though we have a 25% conversion rate, approximately, we're going to need to do a good bit of follow-up. We're going to need to do a good bit of nurturing there, and also qualifying to make sure they're the good quality leads. In this case, what I would have also done if we were running this type of funnel is if we were, say, the next step was to get them to book in a call, which you can do on the thank you page for the instant form. You could say, if you want to book a time right now, just click the CTA and you can take them to book a form page. Then we can also still push that information back, whichever tool we're using, for example, high level, I work a lot with that. Then we would also add the appointment scheduled column and also the cost per appointment. So you can start to have everything right in front of you without having to go into high level or any of your CRM or do any other calculations. Now, what if something isn't performing? Our first bottleneck is potentially, is the ad just not generating enough click-throughs? Are people seeing the ad and they're just thinking, I don't care, this isn't for me? And that's the first potential situation, is simply the creative and the copy is just not interested enough. They're seeing the image, they're seeing a video, and it's not getting them to stop. It's not calling out the specific person. The offer that's being spoken about just isn't interesting enough. So if our CTR is too low, like in this case, it already is pretty low. I should have refreshed the ads in this case, but we were still getting enough leads that it wasn't that big of an issue. But we would potentially want to look at the quality of the leads that we're getting and say, could we change the messaging on the ads? We likely need to do more creatives, more targeted, try different creative angles in the primary text, etc. Now, let's say we had the link clicks to results was very low. Let's say it was like 5% or 10% on a lead form, an instant form, which is crazy low because you can see it can be as high as 25% in this case. Then I'd be asking, are we asking too many questions? Are we asking confusing questions? We could be having very strong qualifiers, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, as long as the next step of whether it's appointment scheduled or converted into a sale or whatever it is, we see a very high conversion rate there. Then it's potentially not too much of an issue if you're qualifying very, very hard in your instant form, if that conversion rate is very high. So there's a lot of variables here that you are balancing, but this is how I approach it. This is my thinking of, as I said, this is all a funnel, and you're just going step by step, top to bottom, and you're thinking, okay, our numbers look good in this range. If not, what's potentially the issue here? Is it the creative? Is it the messaging? With instant forms, are we asking too many questions? Are we asking too difficult questions? Are we qualifying too hard? And now we're just not getting enough leads and our cost is way too high. So this is how I approach it when I am auditing and reviewing a ad account. If you want to get a free audit, or if you want help running your meta ads, you can then just find a link in the description and you can click that and you can book in a time with me. If you found this video helpful, the next one that just popped up on the screen, YouTube thinks you're also going to find helpful, and you can just click on that and take a look.